Imagine this. You're about to speak in front of a room full of people. Suddenly, your mind goes blank, like an erased whiteboard. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you wish the ground would just open up and swallow you. Many of us know this feeling all too well. This irrational fear of public speaking happens to everyone. Public speaking anxiety, also called stage fright, stems from uncertainty, the fear that our performance won't meet other people's perceptions or expectations. Most of us have experienced some sort of fear when speaking in public. This anxiety isn't just limited to large audiences, it can also hit when you're speaking to your classmates in school, your local Bible study group, or sharing your opinions in a smaller setting. Let's explore some practical ways to overcome this phobia once and for all. To begin with, understanding that the fear of public speaking is a biological process linked to our survival instincts means that every speaker experiences butterflies just before a presentation. As Greg Allman puts it, stage fright isn't about am I any good? It's about am I going to be good right now? It's a fact that every speaker feels some form of anxiety when addressing an audience. The first 30 seconds before you step onto the stage are probably the most nerve-wracking for people. Being the center of attention triggers a fight-or-flight response in your body, pumping adrenaline to prepare you for danger, even though there's no real threat. The first technique is rehearsal. Whether you're speaking in front of an audience for the first time or you're a professional public speaker, rehearsal should not be underestimated. Practice goes beyond memorizing your slides a couple of days before the presentation or silently going through your notes and hoping to improvise on stage. To properly prepare, your body needs to be engaged in the process. Public speaking coach, Yashir Khan emphasizes 3 effective stages of rehearsal. Structuring your content plays a crucial role in determining the success of your presentation. Consider how to convey your message in a way that keeps your audience engaged. What should be addressed first? What specific words, gestures, pauses, and continuations should you use? While people may forget 85% of what you say, they will remember the essence of your message and how it made them feel. Next, say it out loud. This step is often overlooked by many. Practicing your speech aloud allows you to identify areas where your content may not sound quite right. It also helps gauge your confidence, memory, and vocabulary. Experts recommend practicing at least 5 to 10 times before stepping onto the stage to boost your confidence. Lastly, prepare your content thoughtfully. Avoid turning it into a dry manual or overwhelming your audience with excessive information. Avoid memorizing your presentation word for word. You don't need to recite exactly what's on paper. Instead, understand your content and try to convey it naturally to your audience. The goal of any presentation is to be engaging, and reading off a script won't achieve that. Memorizing your presentation leaves no room for your personality to shine through and can come off as robotic, which disengages your audience. Another problem with memorization is that the longer the speech, the easier it is to forget parts of it. During your speech, if you forget a line and try to recall it exactly as written, it can make you more anxious and cause you to blank out on the entire speech. It's similar to studying for a test. If you study to memorize rather than understand, you're more likely to get nervous when you forget something. If you must memorize, focus on your opening and closing sentences. These are the most important lines that hold your presentation together. Stop self-sabotage. Henry Ford was on to something when he said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." In David Robson's book The Expectation Effect, he explains how what we expect can greatly influence our experiences, regardless of our practice or skill set. Changing our mindset can greatly affect our physical and mental well-being. Robson says that our expectations aren't just passive reflections of reality, they actively shape our physical and mental state. He discusses 2 important concepts, the placebo and nocebo effects. The placebo effect occurs when people experience real benefits from a treatment because they believe in its power. In contrast, the nocebo effect happens when people feel worse because they expect something to be harmful. Researchers tested this by giving inactive drugs to a group of people with migraines. None of them knew the pills were dummies. 3 out of 5 members said they experienced significant pain relief, while 2 out of 5 experienced side effects like drowsiness and loss of appetite. The difference between these two sets of people was their mindset. Changing your mindset is a simple yet powerful way to get comfortable with public speaking. You can have the best coaching, be a natural-born speaker, and practice consistently, but if you believe your presentation won't go well, there's an 80% chance you'll mess up. No matter how good or terrible of a public speaker you are, whenever you feel anxious before a presentation, embrace that feeling and remind yourself that nervousness is perfectly normal. It doesn't mean you're going to mess up. Instead, try to turn that nervousness into excitement. Lastly, remember to maintain eye contact. It can be challenging when you're nervous, but focusing on one person while delivering a point can help ease the tension in the room. Each person in the audience listens individually, so addressing them personally can turn passive listeners into engaged ones. Just avoid staring for too long, as it can make your audience uncomfortable. Instead, aim to hold eye contact with different people for 3 to 5 seconds. This duration allows you to emphasize your message effectively. And there you have it. Public speaking doesn't have to be a nightmare. It can be an enjoyable experience if you approach it with confidence. Follow these steps, and you'll turn your fear into confidence. Are you ready to tackle your next speech? We hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips. Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos if you enjoyed this one.